to the Let's Talk About podcast with me, your host, Mumbi Johnson, and let's get into this episode. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Let's Talk About podcast. I'm Mumbi Johnson, the host. If you're new and if you're not, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining the podcast again. So today is a special day because I have a special guest, and you will not only be hearing from me, but you'll also be hearing from her. And her name is Shaunti Unique. And today we're going to be talking about kind of some deep stuff in terms of healing from our past and living through our passions and using our creativity. So let's talk about it. But before we start, I'm going to let Shaunti Unique introduce herself and give the audience a little bit about you.
Well, hi, I'm Shaunti. I'm an artist. I call myself a heartist, so I basically make art from my heart. So as corny as it sounds, I make art straight from the heart, and I pour so much love into it that, like, no matter what medium, I can just express whatever I'm feeling, and whoever sees it, they can translate it into whatever their heart responds to. It's like, it just keeps me up and beating. I really don't know how to describe myself. I'm a Taurus, so take with that, what you may. And I really like visuals. I like pictures. I like taking pictures. So yeah, that's probably where you know me from. If you see me, you probably see my room on Pinterest, or like me wearing fairy outfits and stuff, because I like feeling like a princess. So yeah, I don't really have. Oh, I like vinyl records. That's like my big thing right now. It's just collecting records and listening to old music. So, whoever, likes that kind of stuff, you might like what I'm talking about, because it kind of taps into each area of my life.
Yeah, that's great. That's really interesting. I love Pinterest, by the way, so I might see your room come up on my feed soon. So okay, but before we get started into today's episode, we're gonna play a little game of Would You Rather, and I'm just gonna ask you 5 questions. They're not too hard. The first one is, would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors, or go into the future and meet your great grandchildren?
I don't know, because I'm a hermit. I like to be in the house a lot. So I often see myself like as a auntie that doesn't have kids. So
Okay,
if I
we can say like your future future.
so yeah, my friends' kids, I would love
Yeah.
to see them, but I think more so I would like to go back and see like where like I get my genes from. Like not on the physical side, but I mean like on the spiritual side. Like why do I gravitate towards what I gravitate towards?
Mhm.
And why do I do the things I do? Why do I, you know what I'm saying? You can get a lot of that from your parents, your grandparents, and even your great grandparents. So I would love to see like even further beyond that.
Yeah.
Like I want to see like what it was like to be so different, I guess, in this day and age. I want to see what it's like to be analog. I want to see what it's like to just write letters and like because that's the only way. I want to know. I just want to like feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm the same way. I would rather travel back in time because like I just want to know more of my personal history as well of my family, because like my family is so diverse and they come from all over. So I would just like to see that. The second one is, would you rather have more time or more money?
I think I would rather have more money because I collect weird stuff, and that shit always costs like a lot of money. So it's like, and I don't think time is a con. Like I think time always be working against me, because I'd just be living my life, and then I look up and 6 months went by, and it
Mm-hmm.
was just like, damn, like the 6 months go by because you depressed or because you really living it up. Like, so
Yeah.
I'd rather have more money. So like at least I'd be depressed on a boat instead of being like, out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, I don't know, it's like 50-50. Like I
Yeah.
would want to have more time, because like, would it be great to live to your 400? Like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like I would want to be old, but I also would want to have that comfortability that comes with like funds.
Yeah, I get that. For me, I just think about it like if I had more time, then I would live longer than everyone else and then kind of be depressed that no one that I was like I connected with is still alive anymore. So that's the way that I thought about it. The next question is kind of relates to time in a way, but would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button on your life?
I've begun, like, as I've grown older, I realized that everything happens as it should. Like, for me personally, I'm very impulsive a lot of the time. So if I had just a little bit more patience, I
Mhm.
would feel like I naturally have that pause button in my life. Like, I would naturally have, like, the ability to just, like, stop my thoughts so that I could speak clearly, or, like, stop what I'm saying so that, I can gather my thoughts type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I genuinely wish that I had more patience,
Mhm.
because in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of things I would do differently. But on the other side of it, I believe that I'm perfect. Like, I believe that, like, you're perfect, I'm perfect. Like, everybody is exactly where they're supposed to be at this exact moment. And it's
Mhm.
like, future goals are future goals. What about right now? How do you feel right now? So it's like,
Exactly.
that pause button would help me so much. Like,
Mhm.
just to, like, I think my pause button right now is like, I smoke so much, and like it's like 50-50 on that. Like, I want to stop smoking so much, but I also, like, I need it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could tire me out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stress, like, it's just stress. So, like,
Mhm.
that pause that you get from just, like, being able to sit back, roll you one, and just puff and just be cool. That kind of patience is what I don't have when I'm, like, overthinking. Just, if I had a rewind button, I would be fucking up people's lives. I'm just so, like, it's just chaos. Like,
Yeah.
I would be causing chaos, like, causing chaos. So yeah, it's it's always pause all day.
Mhm.
Pause all day.
I agree because like rewinding, I could totally mess things up and just
Mhm.
like alter the way that reality is. But with a pause button, I especially resonated when you said like stress. Like there's so much stress in the world right now, and everyone needs to pause and take a minute to just like breathe and collect themselves. And yeah, basically what you said. So I completely agree. The fourth question is, would you rather be able to talk with animals or speak all foreign languages?
No lie. I'm about to say something that's gonna sound like, I don't know if it's like bad, but like, I think I'm bilingual already, but just don't know it. Like, like, talking to somebody that speaks a different language with you, like, than you, is just the vibe. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to interpret, like, what the context is, and
Yeah.
being around. So I don't know. What was the question? Because I thought of a joke first.
The question was, would you rather be able to talk with animals or speak all foreign languages?
Oh, yeah, animals.
Yeah,
Are bees considered animals or bugs?
they're animals, I would say.
Yeah, I would just, if I had that power, I would just use it to talk to bees. I would want to know exactly, like, how they do what they do.
Hmm.
It's like, I feel like me and bees are like this. Like, I don't, I only think I've ever watched the bee movie like once, and I don't think I liked it. But bees, like the real ones,
Yeah.
yeah, they're great. I would just talk to them, see what they're up to, like, why they be doing that, like, how they do it, like, why. Like, if you spill a Coke on the floor, like, bees, they'll make that into the most purest, cracked out honey like you would
Hmm.
ever, like, experience. So
Yeah.
it's just, how do you turn some bullshit that's meant to kill you, and
Hmm.
that's meant to, like, harm your, like, body, into some, like, honey. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
can do that.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think that like nature is amazing and I feel like humans are not super interesting in that way because like we basically all communicate the same sort of things on a daily basis, whether it's like English or Mandarin or whatever it is. But
Mhm.
with animals, like they have a totally different life and they're just super interesting to.
They know what the is going on. They know what's going on with everything. Like,
Exactly. They're so in tune with the earth and just like the whole universe and everything.
what are we missing? Like,
The last one is, would you rather go to a movie or to dinner alone?
mm.
I'd honestly do both because I am more of an introvert too, and like like spending time alone. So
I don't like people watching me eat unless I'm like super close with them.
okay,
Like, I don't know. It's just like
yeah.
yeah, I'm a food person, so I go to town and I don't like to be judged at
Mhm.
all. So I would rather eat by myself than go to a movie by myself because I'm a heckler. I like to heckle in the movie theater. People only go to the movie theater where I'm from to heckle. So yeah. You have to do it. You can't do it by yourself because that's just like you gotta
Yeah.
have somebody there to back up your bad jokes. So
Yeah. Okay, well, that's all the questions. That was just like a little icebreaker,
that
you
was
know.
so cute.
Going into today's discussion, we're going to be talking about our passions, like I said before, and how that's healed us from our worst tragedies and like our bad experiences in life and just helped us to grow as people and humans. So I'm just going to ask you, what are your passions creatively? Yeah, if you could just like say some things that you work on.
Well, I have this like really big dream of being like a coffee table book. I want to have like at the end of my career,
Hmm.
I want to have a coffee table book. And I want it to be able to be accessible to everybody. Like I want everybody to have that book on their coffee table. And
Hmm.
I want it to be very like thick with knowledge about styling, about like form, shape, and like being yourself.
Hmm.
Even if it's just me being myself authentically and it don't got nothing to do with you like and your interests, what your interests are. Like
Hmm.
I want it to be so authentic and so real. That's like it's better than, all the coffee table books you've ever seen because you're just like you just keep flipping the pages.
Yeah.
And like, it has editorial shoots from when I was a teenager and it has like mid-20s looks. It has
Hmm.
like retro fitted outfits. It has like every diaspora of like style in it that like I could think of that I
Hmm.
did with my own two hands. So it's just like because I wish I had that kind of book.
Yeah.
So even if it starts off small, like zines, like where I just put like, 4 or 5 pages of something inspirational in there, I want to be that girl because it's going to have line work. It's going to have printed like materials on it. It's going to have all kind of like, I want to do stamping, like make my own stamps. So
Hmm.
block printing, screen printing, linographics, like all this stuff. Like, because I find that when I work with my hands, I could just tune out everything and keep it rolling basically like just keep it moving like sometimes like I will literally disconnect from the world for days, the world as in like the internet, because
Hmm.
I will still be out, like I'll still do my like everything, right? But I won't talk to people for days, weeks, months, and I care about you. I just like I can't do anything regarding nothing right now, so unless it's about me.
Yeah.
So many people have told me like it's selfish and like, I can't do that because it's like ghosting and it doesn't make people feel good. And I'm like, all kind of stuff. So I've been better about like telling people I'm gonna like leave for a while,
Hmm.
and you shouldn't really expect me to like, contact you because I won't, because I'm just feeling like I'm just a really terrible person to be around when I'm depressed. So I would just love it if
Hmm.
like people stayed out my face when I'm depressed. It's just saving this braid is pissing me off. It's just saving a lot of like tears, you
Hmm.
know? I don't
Yeah.
like to argue with people and I don't like to send paragraphs or like, do the normal stuff when people feel hurt. Like I don't like to do it makes me feel beside myself and embarrassed. Why would I want to feel embarrassed? I want to feel free. I want to feel like I could do anything. I want to feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I only feel like that when I'm crocheting or when I'm like spinning my records, looking in a
Hmm.
record store for finds, when I'm like doing what I love. It'd be times where I would do what I love and share that with people and they're not receiving it as like, damn, this bitch really loved me. Like she really care about me.
Hmm.
Like they'll just be like, oh, like she just, doing her job. Like, she's just like giving me something like a little treat from her job type. It's like
Yeah.
I think it's regular. People like crochet takes days, weeks, months,
It
years.
does.
Sometimes the fact that I even made you anything when I could have made something and got paid to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
Not to sound like, but on the real,
Hmm.
look at the way the world is set up right now. I don't have a 9 to 5. If I'm spending hours making anything, I'm losing money. If I'm up and I'm not working in this society, I'm losing
Yeah,
money. So it's just like,
exactly.
why isn't my love being displayed the way I needed to, show up? So I
Mhm.
had to do some introspection. I had to change the way I show up.
Mhm.
Stop showing up at all. So it's just like, it's just like, that's just where I'm at. I'm being like, cause I'm gonna just say my moon sign. I'm Aquarius moon. So like I'm learning how to be a lot more detached from how I feel about something and the actual reality of it.
Mhm.
Because there's been many times in my life where I've been hurt, like, abused, mistreated, whatever.
Mhm.
And I couldn't process it because I'm still stuck on stupid. I'm still stuck on, oh, what this person did to me and how I felt about it instead of like the cold hard truth. The cold hard truth is I'm almost 20 and I'm still like sad, dejected, and
Mhm.
like feeling like below myself. I'm 20 years old. Like I'm supposed to be on 10 right now. And it's okay that I'm not.
Yeah.
But it's just like the reality of the situation is I've never looked as good as I do right now. Like honestly.
Mhm.
Like and it's only up from here. Like
Exactly. Mhm.
because of the effort I put in.
Yeah.
I make my own everything. And I do my own hair. I do my own nails if I need to. I do everything. So it's just like, why am I sitting up here looking at 13-year-old Shaunti and feeling like I still like that just still applies?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
like everything that those girls did to me when I was 13, 14, 15, everything that those boys did to me when I was dotting and bopping, doing you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It doesn't apply.
Mhm.
The slate is wiped clean, my sister. Rise at dawn.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the past can really haunt you and like
It
you
does.
yeah.
Like it does. Like this morning, I wake up screaming. Like I literally wake up. It was just so like, yeah, I could spend the rest of my day thinking about how last night was and how
Mhm.
I'm still like my nervous system is still fucked up over like trauma.
Yeah.
But like I could think about that all day, or I could actively do things to chip away at that huge boulder of like misery and sadness because it's
Mhm.
not gonna go away. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna chip at that until it's gone, until it's a pebble, until I can kick it out of like until I can kick that shit out of my mind.
Yeah.
You know Stonehenge,
Mhm.
like them Easter, like the what's it
Yeah.
called?
Yeah.
It's like that, and every single misrepresentation of who I am is one of those stones in my mind.
Mm.
So it's like imagine Beyonce in that room where she's looking at all those different versions of herself, right?
Mhm.
In that Pepsi commercial. And she's like, when I walk through, because when I've been that, that's it, right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm taking all those different eras of myself and I'm picking apart what I really loved about me in that era. How I was resilient when I was getting beat on. You know what I'm saying? I was very
Yeah.
resilient. Like I kept it moving. Like
Mhm.
I isolated myself, but I came out like such a great artist. Like
Mhm.
the stuff that I did, like blew my mind. Like I could draw a portrait in an hour and it's so like exact to your
Yeah,
face.
I've seen your art. It's amazing. Like props to you because that that takes skill and work and effort. Like so I bow down to you in that respect.
Thank you. It's just like crocheting. My first boyfriend, he
Mhm.
broke up with me. Like, and I was so sad. I was like, what do I know how to do that would just like, I need something that would like cover me. Like, I need warmth. Cause
Mhm.
like, I was cold. Like, I was just like shivering, just the anxiety of like not having a person there to
Yeah.
converse with was just like, I need something to cover my, like, to make me warm. I learned how to crochet a blanket just because, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And every time I look at it, I'm like, that's your reward for dumping that dusty. Like that's your reward. Like you get this beautiful blanket that everybody compliments you on because you picked a great pattern, you picked great colors, and you followed your heart and you
Yeah.
made that. And nobody has to know why you made it unless you tell them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just there.
Mhm.
Like the manifestation of my pain and grief is just there. And random passerbys, like they can look at it and they could be like, damn, that's a nice blanket. It's so intricate. It's so like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like when I look at it, I'm just like, all right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love how like you like art is a form of self-care for you, and
Mhm.
you've through your examples like you've really shown that, and I love that you're your own healer and you've worked hard within yourself to just try to get over your past grief and um you know past memories and traumas, and it really shows how strong you are as a person to be able to do that all on your own. And I understand about like authenticity and just being transparent with people, and I mean not everyone's just gonna know the message behind all of your art, but at least it means something to you, and that's what's really important. At the end of the day, you're really satisfied within yourself, and you can move forward having that knowledge.
Yeah. That's very nice.
So, speaking on passions, what do you or what would you recommend for people who want to like start getting into art or want to start getting into crocheting for as a form of art or like any type of art? What would you recommend for them to like get started or find inspiration from?
I think what I recommend most
Mhm.
is when you want to be an artist, or you want to do anything like visually where people have to like sit and watch, open your eyes first. Like, I'm not saying like be woke or nothing like that, but I'm saying like take the time to listen and look at what, like, study exactly what you're looking at and look past it. Like, study the nuances, study the concepts, study why it is, like, why it's there.
Mhm.
Like, be a student before you try to showcase, yourself.
Yeah.
Because when you're a budding like artist or you want to do anything hobby wise, you treat it as a newborn child. You treat it as a baby. You don't want to show the world your art if it means something to you, and you don't have the confidence. Like, it's premature.
Mhm.
Like, because then you'll be susceptible to the good opinions and even like the bad opinions. Because
Yeah.
like the good opinions will even take you like a place where you don't want to go. A lot of people don't talk about that. Like, compliments aren't always like compliments. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
When you post your art, or when you like even show like a relative, like, you're opening yourself up to whatever they might feel about what you do. So I say first step is to open your eyes and listen and be comfortable with being a student.
Mhm.
Second step is to actually peel back the need to showcase yourself, like the need to be in front of an audience, the need to be a star, because
Mhm.
you are a star, but like you need to be ready to be a star. Because
Yeah.
I've experienced like being on the stage, and like my first market was like, dang, I was
Yeah.
so scared. Like, even when they were like taking pictures of my booth, even though I knew my booth was great and I put a lot
Yeah.
of effort into it, my
Mhm.
confidence wasn't there to showcase my art. And even the good opinions was like I was picking them apart and I was
Mhm.
just going crazy in my head. So the second step is take yourself out of the stage,
Mhm.
maybe sit backstage for a while and like look on the stage to see what you could take from the stage that you will be comfortable with. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Metaphorically. And then C is YouTube. Like, YouTube. Like, so much information is on YouTube and Google. It's
Mhm.
like free university. And there's a lot of things. If you know how to eat the meat and spit out the bones, you'll be able to be whatever you really want to be. Because there's people giving out free information on how to be a millionaire, and no drama. Like, they're just
Mhm.
giving it out because they think that the masses can't do it too.
Yeah.
But if you're that type of person, if you're the type of person with the go-getter attitude, and you could really like put the pen to paper and try to plan out like what you actually like instead of what is going to sell, then, you know,
Yeah.
because trends change. You
Mhm.
seen how them nasty, these nasty, well, gosh, there's so many trends that be pissing me off that
Mhm.
came back from way back when. And I'm like, but then again, it's like, it's not my place to hate,
Yeah.
because it's like everything comes back. Like, everything comes back.
Mhm.
So you wait till it's your time. You got to feel it in your heart, feel it in your spirit. That's
Mhm.
why I literally take months. Like, I'll post a picture of this really great drawing I did, right?
Mhm.
I won't post another picture of it. It's already probably done. I won't post another like picture of it like being completed for another month. Keep these girls hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I understand. I mean, really feeling, I feel like you have to have that confidence within yourself. And as you said, that go-getter attitude to like really start putting yourself out there and being truly comfortable within yourself and knowing that you have worth, you have value. And yeah, even with trends, like they're constantly changing. There's nothing that is concrete and that you can stick to. So just like knowing within yourself when you're ready or when you feel the time is the appropriate time, just like putting yourself out there. And it can be scary. Like when I started this podcast, I've said this many times, but I was scared to like have people hear my voice, but I grew that confidence within myself to be like, no, I have value, I know my worth, and people actually like what I have to say. So I'm gonna keep, providing them with some sort of advice and some sort of tips and just hearing my voice and seeing how it can inspire others, because that's one thing about creativity and like using your whether it's your creativity or your services for other people, it can really inspire others. And inspiration is such a great thing because there's so many people that I look up to, and just being able to touch other people's lives and spirits and souls, that's just something that's so significant to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that because it's like every single order I get is so personal.
Mm-hmm.
So I never forget about anybody, like anybody's order. So like they place the order with me, I'll have it in my head, but I might not pick it up for like 6 months, 3 months, or you know what I'm saying? But I'll keep communication on what happened. If
Yeah.
like you just ask me like, yo, did you get about me? No, I'll even send you like extra shit on top of that because I'm like, damn, time got away from me, but I didn't forget about you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I don't really care if like me being so slow as an artist like affects my reputation as far as like don't order with her. Like you'll probably place an order and she'll like send it in like a year. Sorry, I'm so sorry, but you got it, right? And it's like most people don't buy crochet. So I like to think of it as very personal. Like I'll actually tell you, like the reason why I didn't send to you, I was depressed. I was in my house. I didn't do shit. And like the fact that I even like I'll refund you when I get it, but I can't like right now. And I'll be so upfront and honest that like you can't help but like, okay, cool. Like, cause it's not like I'm not a corporation. I'm not a business. I'm not somebody that's just gonna take your money and run and buy me a house or like, you know what I'm saying? I'm using that money to sustain my well-being.
Yeah.
So, thank you. And I appreciate you for letting me buy more yarn and more art supplies and things of the sort. And look,
Yeah.
like it's just like, yeah, because crochet is like a once in a every blue moon kind of buy. So yeah, at least like when I send it, I'll make sure that it's what's the word? My mind is going blank right now. It's like it fits. So
Yeah.
it's like don't, like it took a year on purpose. Like it's so good. Like yeah, I get why it took so. I'm just excited. I'm making a lot more mini dresses and like things to go out in and like a lot of more things to make me feel good and like girls that want to like wear luxury stuff, but it doesn't look like so bougie and so like, you know what I'm saying? I want it to be like that because that's me. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I like that you don't think of yourself as a corporation and that everything that you make is like, well, it's handmade if you're
Yeah.
doing crochet, and it's like very personal. It's like you're touching it, you're putting your love into it,
And
and it's
I'm
a
so far
creation. It's
into it.
not just like a product like to sell to the masses. It's something that's really special, holds a place in your heart, and you don't forget about it because it takes time, as you said. Like it's not something that you can do in 1 hour, 2 hours. And yeah, and I love crochet fashion as well. I'm starting to get more into it. My friend actually does a lot of crocheting too, and she made me a cute little handbag that had sunflowers on it, and that was so special to me. Like I almost cried
Yay!
when she gave
I
it
would
to
keep it forever. Keep it
Yeah,
forever.
yeah, but like I was so grateful that she even thought of me to like make it. Yeah, it's very special.
And it's like that's the kind of response I want from everybody that gets something from me, even if it's just something as small as like some earrings, because like I put like love into it. Like I'll even like light some incense, play some good music in the background, some jazz, like set the mood and like just get to work.
Yeah.
And every time I make something like cool, it reminds me of like a special time in my life, kind of. When I do markets, I'll talk to the people that buy my stuff. They'll ask me like, "Oh, so where the inspiration for this top came from?" I remember this one girl like bought a top, and she said she wouldn't have bought it unless I told her like the backstory and stuff like that. And I told her, and she started busting up. I was watching Shrek, and Shrek is like my favorite movie. I made a top inspired by Shrek, and she just started like just busting up laughing. She was like, "I'll take it now. Like I'll like full price. Like I'll even tip you type shit." And I'm like, "Yo, like, is that what it takes just to be real?" Like that was just me being 100% real. Like, and
Yeah.
I think like, yeah, I went to Big Bear and I made this on the road there, on the road trip there, or like on the way back, or like in the hot tub. Like I was just crocheting, like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And they really appreciate that because it's more personal. Like clothes are supposed to be personal. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people are walking around with the same thing on. And
Yeah.
now I want to be able to pick you out from a crowd. Like you got to
Yeah.
be somebody that like it just
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like spice it up.
I agree. I agree because people shop at the same stores. Like I'm even guilty of it sometimes. Like I go to H&M, Zara, stuff like that, and then I see people walking around with like there's some people at school I have literally the same exact shirt as them. I'm like, you know.
Can't wear the same
Um,
thing.
so I try to like pick out more unique pieces, and your name is also Shaunti Unique, so that's also a great name for this topic.
Yeah, it's like destiny or
Yeah,
something.
so
Yeah. For a long time I had to come to terms with like what or who I was, like, because I was that girl. I was like somebody that really strived for acceptance. And as like, I'm gonna just say, like, as a Black woman,
mhm,
you want acceptance. You want to feel like seen. You want to feel like what you have to say matters. You want to feel like what you do, like, people care about. You know what I'm saying? I
mhm.
remember reading like a lot of books when I was younger. And I stopped because I realized nobody gave a fuck that I could read well. Like nobody cared that I could read books good. Like
Yeah.
there was like I'm sorry. It was like nobody gave a fuck that I could read like a book in a day or like, you know what I'm saying? I could just read like a lot of books or like the stuff I would talk about is just so mundane to like the kind of things they were interested in. My peers, like I always realized like I got a very pure soul. Like I
I
be
can
doing shit
tell.
kid like I'm a child. So the common consensus with everybody that knows me is like, oh, you laugh like a kid, you do things like a kid, like you like all kind of shit. Like, no, leave me alone. Like I'm just trying to be myself. Like leave
Yeah.
me protecting that version of me that's just like I don't want to feel rejected. Like I don't want to feel like my peers don't like me because I do the things I do.
Mm.
Or like if this person asks me out, it's a joke. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they used to
Yeah.
do this. And I'm talking to all the girls that went through that energy.
Mm.
Like it's detrimental. Like it really be throwing us in a tizzy because you like lose your sense of like, I don't even like the color pink no more. Like I don't
Mm.
even like, things that I like can love. Like
Yeah.
I just picked back up Hello Kitty. And back when I was like coming up, it wasn't cool to have Hello Kitty shoes, backpack, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
socks and all kind of stuff and wear it at 13. Come on.
Mm. Yeah.
Like so, but there's girls that's like 20, 21, like doing the same thing. And I'm like, it's like half. Like, I want to be mad. I mean, like, I'm
Mm.
like, you're grown. Stop doing that. Like,
Yeah.
but there's the other side of me that's just like, that's who I want to be. I want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
that's me. That's who I am. That's why I'm upset. It's just because like that was taken away from me.
Yeah.
Like, and you could say it for a lot of things. Like, not even me personally. I'm sure there's a lot of people that things that you thought was cool, like you get made fun of in school. Like
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Ball Z, like there's some people like running in the hallways doing a Super Saiyan. Like you could do it now. Nobody's gonna judge you. You're
Yeah.
actually really fast if you do it. So go ahead. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Stop letting people like dim your light. Like, cause you really don't get to experience life when so many people are putting their restrictions on you at
Mm-hmm.
all. You don't
Yeah.
ever experience life to its fullest. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You suffering through heartbreak of relationships that would never do what you would do for them, for you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I was just in the hospital, like going through mental shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I text a lot of my friends that I feel like are like really close friends to me. And I feel like if I go missing, don't like, you know what I'm saying? This is what's going on. A lot of them niggas ain't even text me back. They was just like, this shit is weird. I'm out. I can't even text you back. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it immediately makes you rebirth yourself. It makes
Mm-hmm.
you come out of the disillusionment. It makes you snap out of it. Some of these niggas are only here to party with. Some of these people are only here to do certain things with. You can't take them around your family. You can't
Yeah.
take with around your people. You can't, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You because they would never do the same for you.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like it shows up in little heartbreaks. And I'm a very like sensitive person. I get so caught up in like the little,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we on a date and you didn't open my door for me, you must want me to die type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's very like cutthroat. You walk out the door and I'm still outside the building. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you walk in the building and I'm still outside the building. You're crazy. What do I get kidnapped? I don't
Yeah.
trust you around me because
Yeah.
if that was me, I'm Glocks out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm peeking over my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I keep putting that energy in. I keep strengthening that muscle. I keep showing my love
Yeah.
so hard to
Yeah.
like it just like how can you be a lover girl when it's like so many people that don't got no heart? Like
Mhm.
don't got no I'm like
I
what?
know. Yeah, it all comes down to like protecting your peace and because I have been through like similar experiences like through friendship like
Mm-hmm.
I cut off some friendships just because like they weren't serving me and everything that I was trying to put into it and like make it real like it just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there and just in terms of other relationships like um so yeah, protecting your peace I think is really a solid thing that you should take away from this
Mm-hmm.
because you deserve to be treated the way that you want to be treated and in a very nice, friendly, loving, loyal way. So yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. And it's like the reason why I believe rejection hurts so much or feeling like not getting the reciprocity like that you put in hurts so much because it didn't take nothing for you to do it. Like it really didn't. It didn't take nothing out of you. Like you wake up the next day, you don't feel drained at all.
Hmm.
But like for them to do the same thing for you, it would take them a month to gain the amount of like skill or the amount of like patience required to diligently take care of like you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
To get themselves spiritually to that point where they could effortlessly give it away.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like people are different. You just gotta find somebody that's equally yoked. That's like not in no like cultural like way like classes and none of that. None of that. I'm not talking about money because that's been a problem too. A lot of friends because I'm broke as and I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh I got it, babe. Like I could pay for you. Like no, like we are going to the cheapest place until I can afford to take care of you.
And that's real. Yeah.
Yeah. And some people they expect like so much that they can't give. Like I can't do that. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit up here and act like what I'm doing. Like I could be alone and do the same thing that I've always been and feel good about it. And I'm
Mhm.
having you here, like just making me feel like I'm not enough because I can't carry you on my boat. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's an imbalance of people like we just not on the same journey. And
Yeah.
it's really sad. Like rejection hurts so much because you really love that person. You care about that person. You want to
Mhm.
spend time with that person. You want to like, be the person that like they tell their successes to.
Yeah.
Because you're my friend. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And when you tell your successes to them and they don't give you that same like energy,
Mhm.
you just like I feel like I'm 13 again. I feel like I'm trying to show off my brand new. I got these shits at the mall. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm trying to show them off. It's Monday. Like you're getting clowned. Like that's how it feels. It feels like you're getting clowned in the classroom.
Yeah.
Becoming an adult is realizing I'm not in school no more. Like I could just not be around you. I don't have to see you tomorrow. I don't have to like, you know what I'm saying? And if I
Mhm.
do, We don't have to like exchange. We don't have to. I could protect my peace. I could sit the fuck down and do everything that I was given to you to me.
Exactly.
Times 3, because everything everything belongs to me.
Yeah.
Everything.
And that's self-love in its finest. I mean,
Mhm.
you have to where there's holes and empty spaces that other people can't fill,
Yeah.
you have to fill it for yourself and really be that number one supporter for yourself and just be there for yourself. And at times it's hard and it's not always easy, but we just have to work through it. And
Yeah.
yeah. um I mean, I
Oh.
always like imagine my younger self and what I would tell her, because obviously I
Mhm.
wouldn't be saying like negative things to my younger self. Like I have to go back to that mentality and be like, why would you say these things to yourself now? You have to treat yourself with kindness, love, respect, all
Yeah.
those sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when tragedy strikes, you literally rebirth yourself. Like it's so traumatic that you come out of your body
Mm,
and into a very pure, neutral state where you could be swayed in either direction.
yeah.
Like you come to a very like, I'm not gonna say rock bottom, but it be feeling like rock bottom. Like,
Mhm.
and I've hit rock bottom so many times where it's just like, where the fuck is the floor? Because it's just like it's not. It's no like I'm just floating in empty space, but I feel like everything is solid. Like, it's like I can't move, but it's just
Mhm.
like those are limiting, like it's just limiting walls that I put around myself. Like I'm in space. We're all in space. Like there's nothing here,
Mhm.
but we're here. All it takes is for you to like shift your like perspective a little bit.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, shit is bad, but what are you doing in your free time to make shit a little bit better
Yeah.
until things ain't bad anymore? Because
Yeah.
that's all it really takes. 'Cause some people can't change their circumstances; they can just
Exactly.
change what they do in their circumstances. So
Mhm.
I know what it feels like to be abandoned, rejected, neglected, all the shit, and to be able to come out of that like a butterfly. Like my grandma told me I'm a butterfly, and I was like, dang, that's real.
That
Like
is.
I'm a whole ass butterfly. Like
Yeah.
I've rebirthed myself so many times. Every time I shave my head, it's something like I become a different person. It's not even on no like Britney Spears shit. Like it's definitely a spiritual thing. Like I'm not the girl I was when I had locks. I love who I was when I had locks, but that's
Mhm.
not me no more. There's similarities because we was both named Shaunti, but
Yeah.
that's not me no more. I was the same girl when I had loose natural hair the first time I did the big chop.
Mhm.
But when I shaved it off, I mean when I did locks, I changed my mindset. I was like, I'm not gonna do my hair no more. I'm gonna just have locks. I'm gonna just experience life. All those hours that I was spending doing my hair, I'm gonna just live life.
Yeah.
And then I got tired of that. You change yourself and rebirth yourself, and traumatic situation might spark that change,
Mhm.
but like what comes after that, like the wheel always turns like
Yeah.
in your favor.
Yeah.
So I could be crying for like I'll cry for so long,
Mhm.
like I'll cry for all day. Like I'll spend the whole day just like in my feelings and not wanting to like just purging everything.
And that's
I'll cry
okay.
so much. Yeah. And like I'll cry so much that I'm sick. Like like just like, oh, my stomach hurt. Can't eat. Just dying, right?
Mhm.
And like next day, I feel great. I don't even care. And it's just like when those feelings come up again, I'll feel everything I need to feel, and then
Mhm.
I don't care anymore. Like I'm like an immovable, like like a literal bull. You ever seen a cow in a field?
Yeah.
They just be standing there.
Yep.
I just be sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm just eating my hay, like just like you know what I'm saying. Just
Yeah.
the more I try to be something I'm not, and try to step into somebody else's way of doing things,
Mhm.
try to be cold and try to sit and act like I don't give a fuck when I really do care. Because I'll write that paragraph
Mhm.
and then I'll never talk to you again
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
I've said all I need to say. Or I'll let you write the paragraph. I'll read it. I'll say, okay, I understand. And then we don't ever have to talk again.
Mhm.
Like, I'll feel however I need to feel and just keep it moving. Because I've been through some very traumatic shit where if I sit in that, I'm going to be a bitch you do not like.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be somebody that you hate. I don't want to be somebody that you hate. I want to be somebody that you probably had a disagreement with
Mhm.
and you don't mess with no more.
Yeah.
than to be somebody that you're constantly sending shots to in your subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Because I chose to fight and tell you how I really feel. Protect your peace.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like healing is a process. It's a different process for everyone, and no one's process is going to look the same.
Yeah.
And we're always evolving too. Like I really like the butterfly thing that your grandma said, and that's so beautiful in just in itself. But like we turn from caterpillars to butterflies, we spread our wings and we fly, and sometimes we get down, but the healing is a process and it's not perfect. And in that regard, we're not perfect, but we eventually get to the light at the end of the tunnel. Whether that light disappears or not, that's just life. But yeah.
You keep moving.
Yeah.
You keep walking. Yeah. Because it's just the alternative is just stagnancy. Stagnancy is equivalent to literally laying in your casket. It's like literally nothing.
Yeah.
You're just laying there.
Yeah.
So it feels like you just letting your life pass you by. I remember the best day of my life. I won't think it's the best day of my life because there's many more days to come that's gonna be better than that. But I'll say the luckiest day I've had so far. I woke up, it was the night before I was feeling really bad. Woke up, got on the bus, saw a flyer for like this meet and greet all the way in LA. I'm like, okay, it's gonna take me like 3 trains to get there. I'm like, fine. It's like I'll just sit on a train, vibe out. My earphones died like halfway through the train ride, so I gotta spend like an hour and a half with no music. So I'm just like with my own thoughts, just sitting, and I'm like wondering like, how is this day gonna go? So I get to the meet and greet. I'm really early, and the meet and greet is to go see Erykah Badu. So like, I didn't know that she was really gonna show up, but I had faith. Like I was like, okay, she might be here, but either way, I'm gonna be in line. I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna leave home with something. Like that's me. So I was like, let me just wait in line. And then I was super, super early. Like nobody was in line yet. So I went and got something to eat. Came back, the line was like all the way around the block. So in that like 30 minutes, like people was pouring in. So I was like, dang, I lost my spot in line. I would have been first. So I go and sit like in the cut in the bushes and I eat my little salad. So at the time I was vegan. And I was very serious about being vegan. But that's another story.
Yeah.
So like ate my little salad and then like all of a sudden a gust of wind come by, salad fly away. So like my whole salad is gone and like it's just dusted across the pavement. And I'm like, wow, like that's fine. Like I was sad, but like I was just like, it's fine because it's just like it was nasty anyway. And I'm lying. I'm trying to make myself feel better. I'm just like, this salad wasn't even that good anyway. Like, I would be really mad if it was a good salad. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was this girl that sat next to me. She was very pretty. And she looked like she do like Pilates or something. Because she had like that like figure. Like she just does Pilates. And she had yoga pants on. So I was like, okay, she do something. Turns out she's like a yoga instructor. And she's like really cool. Like, she's really cool. And I'm like, okay. Like, we're talking and everything. She see my salad fly away. And she's like, oh, I got snacks in my bag. So she just hands me like some snacks and they happen to be vegan alignment, right? So that happened. And then there's these guys with like this huge ass MTV camera. It looked like it could be on 106 in Park type like thing where they like showing the fans like with the signs. Like it's like that kind of camera. So he come in my face and there's this other guy standing next to him with like a piece of paper. And the paper says like, oh, you look like you could be a big fan of Erykah Badu. We want you to go to her concert tonight at the Hollywood Bowl. And I'm like, lying. Like I'm just like, you are fucking lying. Like, don't play with me.
Wow.
Get me off this camera. And y'all are playing tricks on me. Like type shit. Like stop. So like I was just like, okay. All I could say was just like I said something about like all praises be to Jah. Like, oh, like thank you, God, thank you, Lord, like just thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just so like in shock. I look at the paper and I'm like, this has to be a joke because they printed it out on like I didn't know what tickets look like. I thought tickets look like how they do in the TV shows and movies because I don't really get out much. So tickets usually like this. So it was printed on a piece of like printer paper.
Oh yeah.
I was like, nah, this fake. This fake is this not real. They lying. When they turn the camera away, I'm just like, I'm constantly doubting myself. I'm doubting my luck. I'm doubting like
Mhm.
my faith, and like good things don't happen to me. Like, what made you pick me out of the group?
Mhm.
Was it like physical? I wasn't doing nothing. All I'm doing is sitting out here with my damn salad blown away. Like y'all couldn't have seen that because y'all had the camera pointed that way.
Mhm.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, Shaunti, you're just that girl, and things happen. Good things
Mhm.
happen to you sometimes. So,
Yeah.
just let it happen. So I was just like, okay. And the girl next to me, she was just affirming, like, no, I don't think it's a joke. Like, I don't got tickets, but usually when I go to concert, I gotta print it out, and it was like that. So I was like, okay, you might know what you're talking about. I don't, but you know, let's keep the ball rolling. Let's see where this
Yeah.
goes. So I put the tickets in my bag, and I'm like, okay, I got tickets. What am I didn't have nothing to do tonight, and shit, I'ma just, do my
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
So I end up in LA all day at that meet and greet spot. I take a lot of pictures. I met this beautiful soul. Her name is Adonica. She's my sister. Like, she takes the most pretty pictures ever. And
Mhm.
like, she was the person that did my first like editorial shoot with
Oh.
my crochet wear. And
Mhm.
like, I had to make her a dress. And she's one of the people that it takes like a year for me to make them something. So like,
Mhm.
the fact that they're so patient with me, I love her. So I met her that day. And then like Erykah Badu pull up and we in line. I'm like, this is really like happening. Like,
Yeah.
not on no like starstruck stuff, because like I grew up here. You see celebrities all the time. But it's
Yeah.
just like, dang, I really came out here to go see her. Didn't know if I was really gonna see her. I'm seeing her. I gotta take
Mhm.
pictures of her. She said, like, she's saying hi and shaking hands and shit. Like,
Mhm.
like she's doing her thing.
Mhm.
I just got so much inspiration from that. Like, I'm not gonna be a singer artist, but I'm gonna be an artist where like I'm gonna have like a signing or something like that. There's gonna be like one day there's gonna be people that want to see me that bad. Like there's gonna be
Yeah.
people that have inspiration from me that bad. So
Mhm.
it's just like, okay, maybe that ticket not fake. Maybe I'm at the right place. Maybe I should buy something. Maybe I should
Yeah.
solidify this memory in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna keep these memories. Like, so I get in line. It takes like an hour for everybody to meet her, take a picture, and like do the whole like thing where they buy something, take a picture, and do like, yeah.
Mhm.
So it gets to me, and oh, I forgot to tell you, while I was sitting there,
Mhm.
my salad blew away, and I was crocheting, right?
Mhm.
My hook that I had, it fell on the floor and it broke. So I
Oh.
didn't get to finish what I was crocheting. So I was mad about that as well.
Yeah.
That's why I was doubting the tickets. Cause it's just
Mhm.
like three things, three good things. Like, it's three things. Like,
Mhm.
it has to be something. So that's what happened. So I had what I crocheted, and it was a butterfly top. And it wasn't finished, but you could tell it was a butterfly. And I was
Mhm.
like, I get to the chair where everybody is, and I'm like, hi. Like, I'm so nervous, and I can
Yeah.
smell her. And I'm just like, I just want to sit here forever. Can we just talk about like life? Can we like, let's just chat. Let's just talk for a little bit. I have a lot of things to tell you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about all these questions in my head. And like as like I sit down, she's like, do you want a picture? And I'm like, yeah. And I wanted to like ask her more questions while taking a picture, but I didn't want my mouth to be flapping while they take the picture. It'll make the picture bad. So
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like trying to like collect myself while
Mhm.
they're taking the picture. And I have a picture of Erica Badu now. And I use that on my mood board whenever I'm feeling down.
Mhm.
Because at that, like during that day, she told me after I gave her like the butterfly top I made, she was like, you're really talented and you're really beautiful. And I was like, you ain't even got to say much. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I need. That one sentence. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It be shit like that.
Mhm.
Like, that's like somebody being a stand for somebody for so long, and then they finally get to see them, and then they tell them like, "Oh, I like your fan page," like type shit. Like,
Mhm.
that will give you so much. Like,
Yeah.
damn, like I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah.
the kind of shit. Like, I saw the reason why I started crocheting like back again. Well, it's not a reason, but like, it's like a big part of my inspiration.
Mhm.
There's this book, Get Your Crochet On. Ooh,
Mhm.
this book, Get Your Crochet On, by Afia Ibomu, right? And she's a crochet artist. And she took pictures of Erykah Badu way back in the day
Mhm.
at like for her book. And this is like a coffee table book.
Mhm.
And she took pictures of Erykah Badu wearing her crochet items.
Mhm.
And I wanted this crochet book for so long, and I bought it that same year that I met her. And I would
Oh.
just be scrolling through the books. Like, it has pictures of her when she dated Common, and that
Mm.
was my favorite era. Common is so fine. Like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, it just got pictures of Common and like her and like all the things. And I'm just like, when I gave you the butterfly top, it's not finished, but my story not finished. Like, you
Yeah.
gonna see me again. I'm gonna give you something that's finished. I'm gonna give you like something real from the
Mm-hmm.
heart. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, things don't work out. And I did like, I went to a concert, I recorded the whole thing, I bootlegged the whole thing. I did. Like, if y'all need like, if y'all need that shit on the low, I got you. Like, I had two phones high in the air, just like, yes, Erica.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, as you can see, I'm a fan. And to me, they're just people. And I just admire how, as a person, with all the good things and the bad things, she was
Mm-hmm.
able to do what she did and to keep a level of like authenticity, a level of
Yeah.
underground authenticity. So that's what I want to do in my heart work. That's kind of what it ties all into. If you stop letting things like affect you, I'm not saying this is like a, oh, depression doesn't exist type thing. I'm saying it very much does exist.
Mm-hmm.
And you stop letting that shit like dictate your whole 24 hours.
Yeah.
If you spend just like 5 hours, if you spend 5 minutes,
5 minutes.
like with
Yeah.
100% with yourself, like you will get comfortable with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't like myself. I was like, oh my God, you're so much. Stop, like tone it down. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then I got comfortable with myself, and I don't be embarrassed by the stuff I do.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I don't be embarrassed by the stuff about how I look anymore. I don't be embarrassed by nothing. And if I do, I check in with myself in those 5 hours
Mm-hmm.
and make sure, like, okay, I'm gonna work on this in the next month. Like this next month, I'm gonna really like every time I feel this trigger coming up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna address it. I'm probably not gonna heal it all the way, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna address it because it deserves. That's just 13-year-old me telling me like, "Yo, I feel bad. Like, check me
Mm-hmm.
out. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Like, you spending so much time way back when. What about now? Like,
Yeah.
go to the record store. Even if you don't buy nothing, go to the record store. Even if you don't like buy nothing at whatever, go. Just
Mm-hmm.
go. You don't know who you'll meet.
Yeah.
Like I be talking to homeless people. I talk to them for hours. And it's like they be wanting somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
They genuinely be wanting somebody to talk to. And it's just like if you could have a conversation with somebody about nothing and about everything at the same time for an hour,
Mm-hmm.
imagine what conversation you will get out of yourself, what you will find out about yourself if you could talk to yourself for, days on end. If you could spend that 5 minutes and in a year, you spend it 5 hours. 5 years, you could spend the whole 24 hours and then some. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You could cut off your phone and not feel bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
That's,
like ending on that note, like living in the moment, appreciating this moment, and even like using those 5 minutes to do some like journaling, some shadow
mhm.
work, some artistry, whatever it may
It's
be.
important.
Yeah, and I love Erica Badu. Love that we got to talk about her and how she is a source of inspiration for you, and kind of just like that full circle moment with the whole crochet thing. And I know that one day you're gonna get your complete coffee table book and it's gonna be sitting on everyone's
Yeah.
coffee table.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed talking to you. This was a really insightful conversation, and
Mhm.
yeah, I just loved it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get my homegirl, Danica Gannon, on the photos. I'm gonna have a whole lot of people from LA and all over the world that like gonna contribute to it creatively. It's just gonna be a good thing, and I can't wait to like show everybody what I'm working on. Honestly, because I love making art. Like I don't if I can't do nothing else, I'm gonna make some art. I'm gonna make something. So, all right. Thank you for having me.
You're so
I
welcome.
really, really love this podcast. Like, it's very soothing, and I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to be a part of it. Cause
Thank you. I'll link all of your socials so that people can
thank
find you and like see your art and your work.
you.
And yeah, thank you so much for joining. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and can I ask them? I want to tell y'all I have playlists. So if y'all want to jam to some of my favorite music, I'll be dropping playlists every now and then that y'all can like. They're hour long. So if you need a good cry, if you need a good dance, if you need a good smoke sesh, I got you. Let me know what y'all suggestions are.
There you go. So thank you so much for tuning into the Let's Talk About podcast, and I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye.
Bye. Well, hi, I'm Shaunti.